If all else fails when installing Codelite, either on Windows or a Mac, you can install it inside VirtualBox. Downloading and installing VirtualBox is as easy as installing any other program. It's really straightforward. There's one small thing, which is if it appears to be running very slowly, it might be that your processor does not support the virtualization needed or has it turned off. You would then need to change a setting in the BIOS to enable virtualization. That's beyond the scope of this video, but that's a step you may need to take. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to create an Ubuntu virtual machine. So I've just typed Ubuntu in here, it knows the settings, next, and I want to use quite a lot of my memory. If I use very little memory, that will cause problems later on. Now I've got 8 gig of RAM in my laptop, so I'm going to choose 4096. If you've got 4096, I suggest you choose 2048, so about half the RAM in the laptop. Right, I'm going to create a virtual hard disk now. So the hard disk will be like a file on my hard disk. The format VDI is absolutely fine. I'm going to say dynamically allocated. So this means instead of the file being created at the size we select, it will grow as we add new things to the hard disk. And what I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose about 20 gigabytes. Okay. And create. So that's created the virtual machine settings, and the one thing I need to do, if I start it, you'll see that it doesn't do very much because of course it doesn't have Ubuntu installed. So it will come up like this, and it invites me to select a startup disk. Now I have downloaded the startup disk off of the Ubuntu website earlier. So in my downloads folder, there we are. I've downloaded Ubuntu, open, and then start. So it inserts that disk in the drive and starts the virtual machine. Now obviously this is a little bit small, so I can make this nice and big in just a moment. Just have to wait for the graphics to start. Here we see that Ubuntu is starting up. It might take a little bit of time, and the display might flicker on and off a couple of times as it adjusts to the settings of your computer. So now we've got into the installer, I should be able to make this somewhat bigger so that we can see it at proper size. And I'm going to install Ubuntu. So this is going to install it onto the virtual machine. All of this probably took quite a bit of time. I've trimmed some of the empty space out on this video so that you didn't have to wait to see the next step. So we select the language, and then we also select the keyboard, and that will do quite nicely. Continue. Of course, if you want to use it in a different language, you're more than welcome to do so. We're going to have a normal installation, that's absolutely fine, and I will download updates while installing, that's absolutely fine as well. So we're going to erase disk and install Ubuntu. Remember, this is running inside the virtual machine, so it's just going to be creating that file on your hard disk. It isn't actually going to erase your hard disk. It's then confirming the changes to be written to your hard disk. That's fine, it's just happening to the file. Continue. It asks where you are. London, absolutely fine. Continue. This is used to set your time zone so that when it gets the time off of servers, for example, it knows how to adjust it for being in the UK. So I'm going to be Mr. Powell, like this. That's absolutely fine. Username, Let's go with sir, and password 1, password 1, and I am going to set it to log in automatically. That's absolutely fine. And now it will copy the files and install them. If you're interested to see what it's doing, then you should be able to click here and it will tell you exactly what it is copying. It might make some sense to you, it might not. Okay, and that has now installed. So, some cleanup tasks, and we'll wait for those to go through. And when it's finished with the progress bar, it says installation is complete. You need to restart the computer, and we just say restart now. Now you see this little notice. It says please remove the installation medium and then press enter. So we do that by going to settings and storage. Oh, and now it is removed. It's actually ejected it itself. So you might not need to do that. So all we do, press enter. Now there's my login. So I'm going to click on Mr. Powell. And it's asking for my password. And it will sign me in. Okay, so here I am in Ubuntu.